right. Well, we got a lot of big news to get to this week, kind of all over the place, but let's kick it off with this messy divorce. Biermann and Kim Zolciak from Real Housewives of Atlanta, they are over. He filed for divorce and said that their marriage is irretrievably broken, and he requested sole custody of the duo's minor children. So he filed for divorce, said that the separation date was April 30th, and he wants sole physical custody of the 4 kids that they share. So they are currently living together at their home in Alpharetta, Georgia, but he requested exclusive, temporary, and permanent use and possession of the marital residence. He also asked that Kim be restrained and enjoined from coming to the house after she vacates the property. He requested child support from Kim, as well as reasonable and necessary attorney fees and expenses of litigation. So this broke after Kim also filed for divorce as well, and is also seeking sole and physical custody. So it seems like they both want this temporary, permanent sole and legal custody. So what does that entail? And does that mean it's getting messy?
It's very messy. And Christina, I'm laughing because people can ask for all sorts of things, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get it. So you've seen these divorce cases, spouses say, I want sole legal custody, I want sole physical custody, I want the house. Look, it's not going to happen. The presumption is joint physical and legal custody. You got to get along, you got to share, you got to co-parent with your ex. And you're not going to get the house entirely. And if you can't agree, guess what the court's going to do? They're actually going to force the sale of the house. So again, sometimes this is leverage. Sometimes this is lawyers trying to make their clients happy in these nasty emotional divorces. But it just goes to show, sometimes people ask for millions of dollars. They're not going to get it. Same thing. You're not going to get your kids 100% to yourself.
Right. So what does it mean that he's requesting that Kim be restrained from coming to the property once she vacates it?
Yeah, so a restraining order or being enjoined or an injunction, that's when a court doesn't award damages, but actually prevents you or forces you from doing something. So in this particular case, they're asking for Kim to not even come to the house. Well, again, that's going to be the same as that sole legal custody, right? If you're going to enjoin your ex from even coming around you or the kids, that's basically a stay away order. And we've talked about that a lot on this show. It's not going to happen in a family law case.
Mm-hmm. Does he have to almost prove why she would need to stay away for the judge to grant this request?
Yeah, and these types of restraining orders, you need some sort of violence or threat of violence, right? Some sort of harm to the kids. That's what the case is all about. And so unless Kroy or Kim can prove that and meet that very high burden, a judge isn't going to grant.
Mm-hmm. And so would a judge rule, like, I guess what you said, that they're only going to rule in his favor if he can prove this. So as we know, they reportedly owe $1.1 million to the IRS. Could getting a divorce help in this case at all? Because sometimes, when people are really underwater with money, maybe they split and maybe that will help. I don't know if that will in this case.
Well, potentially, right? We saw this with Tom Girardi and Erica Jane, right? Where they divorced. She kept her half insulated from creditors and folks that were going after Tom. But it really depends on who the IRS is going after. If it's for both spouses from some joint return and they're both on the hook, then the divorce isn't going to help. But let's say Kim owes a lot of taxes, but her ex-husband does not, then that might be a way of him sort of getting himself out of that tax mess. But we all know that the government always gets paid first. Those tax liens are at the top of the line when you're dealing with kind of priorities and stuff. So I think that's another reason why we may see the house sold, to not only resolve this family court difference, but to pay off that IRS tax lien.
Right. And would that be maybe a reason why he wants her to vacate the property? If maybe all of the IRS mess is in her name, he wants to still hold his property, I guess? I don't know.
Potentially. I mean, it really depends on who owes those back taxes, those delinquent taxes. So obviously, and this really comes down to, is this, an issue that predated the marriage, or these taxes a result of what the couple earned during marriage? So it could be a debt that is for just one spouse, or it could be something that's a joint obligation of both spouses. So it really depends.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.